Welcome to the channel Flower of Infinity, your channel of connection with your higher self. And today I bring you a definitive guide to understanding and managing your own energy. The notion that everything is energy has become increasingly popular in both scientific and spiritual discourses. From the perspective of modern physics, energy is the fundamental currency of the universe. It is the property that allows particles and fields to interact, transform, and give rise to the observable world around us. From the perspective of spiritual traditions, ranging from Vedanta to Taoism, energy, often termed prana, ki, or life force, has been considered the essence of all living and non-living things. In recent decades, the conversation surrounding human consciousness and its relationship to energy has grown more sophisticated and more widely disseminated, bridging fields as diverse as quantum physics, neurobiology, psychology, and mysticism. Thinkers such as Fritjof Capra, Lynn McTaggart, Bruce Lipton, and Michael Talbot have contributed to a vibrant literature that suggests our beliefs, intentions, and perceptions may interact with and potentially influence the energy fields that underpin physical reality. This text aims to provide an integrative overview of how these ideas have emerged, the scientific and spiritual context that shape them, and practical methods for managing one's own energy. It is designed to be formal and sufficiently technical to respect the complexities of the subject, yet simple enough to be accessible to a general audience. By the end of this exploration, the reader should have a clearer understanding of how energy, consciousness, and belief systems coalesce, and how one might employ this understanding to expand personal potential and well-being. Historical and philosophical foundations. Ancient Eastern traditions, Vedanta and Yoga. The ancient philosophical system of Vedanta, derived from the Vedas, the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, posits that the reality we experience is ultimately a manifestation of Brahman, an undivided consciousness or universal principle. The individual self, Atman, is considered identical, in its deepest essence, to this universal consciousness. Yoga, both as a philosophy and a practice, offers a framework to realize this unity. In Vedanta and Yoga teachings, the concept of prana represents the vital energy that animates all living beings. Techniques such as breath control, pranayama, meditation, and physical postures are believed to balance and direct this subtle force. Taoism. Taoism, as presented in the foundational text, the Tao Te Ching, attributed to Lao Tzu, emphasizes harmony with the natural flow of the universe, referred to as the Tao. Central to Taoist thought is the idea of qi, often translated as energy or vital force, which suffuses every aspect of existence. Practices like Tai Chi and Qigong are intended to cultivate and circulate qi throughout the body, thus promoting health, longevity, and alignment with the Tao. The famous principle of Wu Wei, or non-forced action, underscores a state in which an individual aligns effortlessly with the energetic currents of life. Buddhism. Although Buddhism often refrains from ontological proclamations about a universal energy, it underscores the interdependent and impermanent nature of all phenomena, pratyasamutpada. In some interpretations, this interdependence can be likened to an energetic matrix. Every thought, action, and event resonates within a web of connections that extends beyond the self. Techniques such as mindfulness and meditation reveal the fluid nature of consciousness, dissolving the illusion of separateness. This perspective aligns with modern ideas that the observer and the observed are intimately intertwined, hinting at deep parallels with quantum mechanics, Western philosophy, and early science. Long before the advent of quantum theory, Western philosophy also grappled with fundamental questions about energy, matter, and consciousness. The pre-Socratic philosophers, such as Heraclitus, posited that existence is characterized by pantarrhei, everything flows. Although the term energy was not yet in common use, the notion that reality is in constant motion and transformation set the stage for later scientific inquiry. In the scientific revolution, thinkers like Galileo Galilei, René Descartes, and Isaac Newton devised frameworks that mathematically described the motion of celestial and terrestrial bodies. While these frameworks emphasized a mechanistic view of nature, the concept of force began to take a central role. Later, the work of James Clerk Maxwell in electromagnetism and Michael Faraday in field theory further expanded our understanding of how energy interacts in the form of electric and magnetic fields. These ideas introduced the possibility that the vacuum itself might be permeated by energetic fields, foreshadowing more radical insights in the 20th century. Modern scientific perspectives on energy and consciousness, relativity and quantum mechanics. Einstein's revolution. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity revolutionized physics by demonstrating that mass and energy are interchangeable, E and mc2. Matter, long considered the bedrock of physical reality, could be understood as a form of condensed energy. This conceptual shift opened the door to a universe in which seemingly solid objects were simply energy trapped in specific configurations. While relativity provided groundbreaking insights into gravity, space, and time, it did not fully address the role of consciousness. However, it paved the way for a more fluid understanding of how energy and matter might be integrally related. Quantum mechanics. Quantum theory emerged in the early 20th century, challenging classical assumptions about how particles behave. Key figures like Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, and Erwin Schrödinger revealed that at the subatomic level, particles exhibit wave-particle duality, can occupy superpositions of states, and appear to be influenced by measurement or observation. The double-slit experiment remains a striking illustration of how the act of observing can collapse a wave function, suggesting an enigmatic relationship between consciousness, or measurement, and the behavior of matter energy at quantum scales. While mainstream physics typically explains the observer effect through decoherence, where any form of interaction, not necessarily conscious observation, affects the quantum system, some interpretations go further. The Copenhagen interpretation suggests that quantum phenomena remain in a state of probability until measured. Other interpretations, like the many worlds theory, propose that all possible outcomes occur but in divergent universes. Among those who investigate the mind-matter interface, these quantum interpretations fuel speculation that human consciousness may exert a non-trivial influence on how reality unfolds at the tiniest scales. Emergent theories of consciousness. Consciousness in the brain, neurobiology and beyond. Modern neuroscience continues to make strides in elucidating how brain processes correlate with subjective experience. Studies of neuroplasticity, championed by figures such as Michael Merzenich and Eric Kandel, demonstrate that the brain's structure and function can be reorganized throughout life based on thoughts, experiences, and intentional training. Brain imaging research likewise reveals that meditation, mindfulness, and certain therapeutic techniques can induce measurable changes in cortical thickness, neural connectivity, and hormonal balance. Despite these advances, the hard problem of consciousness, as philosopher David Chalmers calls it, remains unresolved. How do neuronal processes generate the ineffable quality of subjective experience, qualia? Some theorists, such as physicist Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff, hypothesize that consciousness may be rooted in quantum processes within the microtubules of neurons, an approach known as the orchestrated objective reduction, ORC-OR, model. Though not universally accepted, it highlights a broader curiosity in scientific circles about how mind, matter, and energy might be fundamentally entangled. Field theories and zero-point energy. Science has long grappled with the concept of fields as the foundational structure of reality. Electromagnetic, gravitational, and nuclear fields are recognized as the mediators of force and interaction. In quantum field theory, every type of particle is seen as an excitation of an underlying field. The zero-point field is a concept that arises from quantum field theory, describing the baseline energy that remains in any vacuum state. Lynn McTaggart, in her book, The Field, popularized the notion that this sea of invisible energy might connect all things, suggesting that intentional human thought could have an impact on the zero-point field. Though the scientific community debates the precise role of the zero-point field in human consciousness, the idea resonates with an intuitive sense that life is deeply interconnected at subtle energetic levels. Research into phenomena such as non-locality, quantum entanglement, and quantum coherence in biological systems opens new avenues for exploring how consciousness interacts with the environment in ways beyond classical cause and effect. The role of consciousness in shaping reality. Observer effect and measurement problem. One of the most compelling arguments linking consciousness to the fabric of reality is the observer effect in quantum mechanics. When an observer measures or interacts with a quantum system, the wave function collapses from a superposition of probabilities into a single, determinate outcome. While conventional interpretations attribute collapse to any form of interaction, more philosophically and metaphysically inclined thinkers argue that consciousness itself could be integral to the actualization of potential states. This line of reasoning suggests that reality at the most fundamental level might be co-created by consciousness. However, to remain balanced, it is essential to acknowledge that the mainstream scientific perspective does not universally endorse the notion that mind creates reality in a literal sense. Quantum experiments typically emphasize that any interaction with a measuring device, conscious or not, will alter the system. Nevertheless, the suggestion that the human mind can directly affect outcomes remains fascinating and has spurred interdisciplinary research in parapsychology, noetic sciences, and beyond. The holographic universe. Michael Talbot's The Holographic Universe takes the concept of universal interconnection further, arguing that the entire cosmos might function akin to a giant hologram. In a hologram, each part contains the information of the whole. This metaphor is grounded partially in the work of physicist David Bohm, whose theory of the implicate order proposes that our observable reality, the explicate order, unfolds from an underlying realm of interconnected information. If this holographic model is correct, it implies that consciousness and reality are deeply entwined. The mind, possibly tapping into the implicate order, can shape the manifestations that appear in ordinary space and time. Although the holographic paradigm remains speculative, it has garnered attention in various scientific and philosophical circles, particularly for its explanatory elegance regarding non-local phenomena, synchronicities, and the uncanny correlations sometimes observed in parapsychology research. The biology of belief. Moving from physics to biology, Bruce Lipton's The Biology of Belief addresses how beliefs, particularly subconscious ones, can influence cellular function and gene expression. Lipton's work draws from epigenetics, which studies how external and environmental factors can switch genes on or off. Traditionally, genes were viewed as the rigid blueprint determining physiology and behavior. Epigenetics, however, reveals that the environment, including psychological states, stress, optimism, fear, etc., can significantly alter genetic expression. This insight corroborates the broader notion that everything is energy, in the sense that mental patterns, emotional states, and intangible beliefs have tangible physiological and biochemical correlates. In day-to-day life, this is seen in phenomena like the placebo effect, where a mere belief in the efficacy of a treatment can catalyze measurable healing outcomes. Thus, from the perspective of epigenetics and psychobiology, controlling one's energy, or at least one's mental-emotional state, can have profound implications for physical health and well-being. Cognitive frameworks and reality tunnels. In psychology, the concept of a reality tunnel, popularized by Timothy Leary and Robert Anton Wilson, suggests that each individual perceives reality through a filter of beliefs, experiences, and biases. What we see, hear, and interpret is largely shaped by our internal models of the world. These models operate somewhat like self-fulfilling prophecies. If we believe ourselves to be incapable, for example, we unconsciously select data from our environment that confirms our inability, reinforcing the belief. The interplay of beliefs and perception is crucial for understanding how energy can be managed or directed. If we hold limiting beliefs about what is possible, our mental and emotional energy becomes constrained. In contrast, expanding our belief frameworks can free up creative and motivational energy, opening new pathways for personal and collective growth. This interplay underscores that controlling one's energy is not solely about mystical practices, but also about reshaping our cognitive and emotional landscapes, neuroplasticity, and habit formation. Modern research in neuroplasticity has shown that the brain's synaptic connections continuously change in response to stimuli, thought patterns, and learning. This plasticity is not confined to early development. It continues throughout adulthood, offering hope for those seeking to break free from detrimental habits and beliefs. When we deliberately practice new skills or expose ourselves to new ideas, neural circuits rewire, creating more efficient or adaptive pathways. Over time, these pathways become ingrained, forming new habits. Consequently, strategies to control one's energy often revolve around establishing healthy habits, both mental and physical. Mindfulness and meditation practices can refine the brain's ability to maintain focus and emotional equilibrium, thereby improving the regulation of energetic states, e.g., stress levels, attention, motivation. Similarly, cognitive behavioral techniques can help individuals identify distorted beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. This convergence of neuroscience and psychology demonstrates that energy management is fundamentally intertwined with conscious effort, repetition, and self-awareness. Placebo, nocebo, and collective belief. The placebo and nocebo effects exemplify how beliefs can generate biochemical changes in the body. A patient who genuinely expects a positive outcome from a sugar pill can exhibit physiological responses mirroring those caused by the actual medication. Conversely, negative expectations, the nocebo effect, can lead to worsening symptoms or the development of side effects from an inert substance. On a collective level, beliefs can be equally potent. Sociological phenomena, such as mass hysteria or the 100th monkey effect, suggest that shared mental states may propagate through groups or even cultures. While rigorous scientific data on collective consciousness remains a subject of debate, projects like the Global Consciousness Project at Princeton University have attempted to measure changes in random number generator data during large-scale emotional events, e.g., natural disasters, global celebrations. Though controversial, these studies underscore the idea that group beliefs and emotions might correlate with observable shifts in external systems. In this light, controlling one's energy extends beyond the individual sphere to include collective influences, techniques and practices for managing personal energy, meditation and mindfulness. Why meditation matters. Meditation is often described as the cornerstone of energy management. By systematically training attention and awareness, meditation enables individuals to observe the flow of thoughts, sensations, and emotions without immediate reactivity. Over time, meditators report heightened clarity, emotional stability, and reduced stress, states that correlate with measurable changes in brainwave patterns, neural connectivity, and cortisol levels. Several types of meditation, such as focused attention, open monitoring, mindfulness, and loving kindness practices, serve different purposes. Focused attention meditation, for instance, involves returning the focus to a chosen object, like the breath, each time the mind wanders. This repeated recentering strengthens mental discipline and fosters a calm but alert state. In a broader sense, these practices foster what could be called energetic hygiene, allowing one to release stagnant or negative emotional energy and cultivate a more harmonious internal environment. Neuroscientific evidence. Neuroimaging studies show that regular meditation can increase gray matter density in regions associated with learning, memory, emotional regulation, and empathy, e.g., the hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, and temporoparietal junction. These findings lend credibility to the claim that deliberate internal practices can restructure not only how we perceive the world, but also how we feel and behave in it. From the standpoint that everything is energy, one could argue that meditation refines the mind's energetic frequencies, aligning them more closely with states of inner peace, clarity, and focus. Breathwork and pranayama. Breath is among the most direct links between conscious intention and autonomic function. Practices like pranayama in yoga, or variations of breathwork in qigong, and even modern therapeutic settings, leverage breathing techniques to calm the nervous system, alleviate stress, and modulate emotional states. For example, slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, reducing heart rate and promoting relaxation. From an energetic perspective, Breathwork is said to move prana or chi through the body's channels, nadis or meridians. While the biomedical model might describe these effects in terms of improved oxygenation and vagal tone, many practitioners anecdotally report tangible shifts in their emotional and mental energy. These techniques can be integrated into daily life, offering quick resets that help individuals remain centered and maintain a stable energetic flow. Movement-based energy practices: yoga, tai chi, and qigong. Yoga, tai chi, and qigong exemplify movement-based energy practices that unify breath, intention, and physical motion. Their slow, deliberate postures and gestures are designed to enhance bodily awareness, improve balance, and facilitate the unobstructed flow of vital energy. Over centuries, practitioners have reported a wide array of benefits, from increased flexibility and cardiovascular health to spiritual insights and emotional well-being. While rigorous scientific studies of these methods often focus on measurable outcomes like reduced stress hormones, improved immune function, and better balance in older adults, many participants describe profound energetic shifts. These may include sensations of warmth, tingling, or an expanded sense of awareness. Intriguingly, some research indicates that group practice sessions can amplify these effects, hinting at a communal energetic resonance. Reiki and other healing modalities. Reiki and related modalities, such as therapeutic touch or healing touch, involve the practitioner placing hands lightly on or near the recipient's body with the intention of facilitating energetic balance. Skeptics argue that these effects may be attributable to placebo responses or relaxation alone. Nonetheless, practitioners assert that they can sense and manipulate subtle energies, aligning them to promote healing. While conclusive scientific validation remains elusive, the practice underscores the widespread belief that intentional focus and compassionate presence can measurably influence another person's well-being. Mental reprogramming and affirmations, harnessing the power of positive suggestion. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and related psychological modalities leverage the principle that thought patterns influence emotional states and behavior. Affirmations, short positive statements articulated in the present tense, are one technique that can reprogram subconscious beliefs over time. For instance, repeating statements like "I am calm and capable" or "I embrace success and abundance" aims to counteract negative self-talk and evoke beneficial energetic states. Neuroscience supports the practice to the extent that deliberate changes in self-talk can strengthen certain neural pathways, effectively rewiring the brain. Over extended periods, these repeated messages can reduce stress, boost self-efficacy, and improve emotional regulation. From the perspective that everything is energy, affirmations can be seen as targeted vibrations that resonate with both the conscious and subconscious mind, gradually reshaping one's baseline energetic signature. Visualization and mental imagery. Closely related to affirmations is the use of visualization or mental imagery. Athletes and performers commonly use visualization to improve their skills, mentally rehearsing optimal performances before stepping onto the field or stage. In therapeutic contexts, visualization can be used to alleviate anxiety, chronic pain, or phobias by mentally simulating alternative, more empowering outcomes. These techniques are increasingly supported by evidence showing that the brain's neural networks can respond similarly to imagined and actual experiences, reinforcing the premise that focused intention, and the mental energy behind it, can create real, measurable changes in behavior and physiology. Scientific research, controversies, and ongoing debates. Parapsychology and noetic sciences. Studies in parapsychology, investigating phenomena like telepathy, precognition, and psychokinesis, often appear on the fringes of mainstream science due to difficulties in replicating results under rigorous conditions. However, organizations such as the Institute of Noetic Sciences, IONS, and researchers like Dean Radin have reported statistically significant findings that suggest human consciousness may have subtle, non-local effects on random number generators or other physical systems. The Global Consciousness Project, GCP, at Princeton University stands as a noteworthy example. This project examines whether large-scale emotional or conscious events, e.g., global meditations, natural disasters, major social upheavals, correlate with deviations in random number generator data around the world. While results remain controversial, with skeptics pointing to methodological flaws or statistical artifacts, advocates interpret the data as indicative of a collective consciousness, influencing physical reality at a small but detectable scale. The challenge of scientific rigor. One of the central challenges in studying consciousness-energy interactions is replicability. Mainstream science relies on rigorous experimentation that yields consistent, reproducible data. Phenomena involving human intention or subtle energies often appear to be highly context-dependent, influenced by participant beliefs, environmental conditions, or the subjective states of those conducting the research. This variability complicates attempts to conclusively prove or disprove that consciousness can directly influence external energy fields. Moreover, the debate is not only about methodology but also about paradigm. The current scientific model tends to prioritize material explanations and often assumes that consciousness emerges from neurological processes. Alternative paradigms, such as panpsychism or idealism, propose that consciousness may be fundamental rather than emergent. As these debates evolve, the boundary between science and philosophy becomes blurred, highlighting the complexity of questions that straddle both domains. Bridging science and spirituality responsibly. Balancing scientific rigor with open-minded inquiry remains crucial for progress. While some proponents of the everything is energy viewpoint may overextend quantum or epigenetic concepts for sensational effect, many researchers remain cautious yet intrigued. Their work underscores the importance of carefully designed experiments, statistical analyses, and peer review. Responsible engagement with these topics involves acknowledging the speculative nature of certain claims while recognizing that scientific history is replete with once radical ideas that eventually gained empirical support. At the same time, spiritual traditions have centuries of experiential insight into the nature of consciousness, energy, and healing, often validated by anecdotal evidence and personal transformations. The convergence of these traditions with cutting-edge science can foster an integrative worldview, one that honors both empirical verification and the intangible, subjective aspects of human existence. Integrating knowledge into daily life. Crafting a personal energy practice. Given the broad and multifaceted nature of the everything is energy perspective, individuals can integrate several approaches into their daily routines. Meditation and mindfulness. Begin with brief sessions focusing on breath awareness or guided meditations that cultivate stillness and self-awareness. Breath work. Incorporate specific breathing exercises, e.g., box breathing, alternate nostril breathing, to regulate energy levels and calm the mind. Movement practices. Explore yoga, tai chi, or qigong, adapting them to personal fitness levels and time constraints. Mental reprogramming. Employ affirmations or cognitive behavioral techniques to identify and replace limiting beliefs. Keep a journal to track progress and insights. Creative visualization. Set aside a few minutes each day to vividly imagine desired outcomes or to rehearse upcoming challenges in a constructive way. Community and group practice. Engage in group meditations, study circles, or workshops. The social dimension can amplify motivation and provide supportive feedback. Periodic reflection. Regularly evaluate shifts in mood, habits, and overall well-being. Adjust practices as needed to maintain a sense of growth and alignment. By combining elements of these practices, individuals can build a robust framework for managing personal energy. Over time, consistent application may yield observable improvements in physical health, emotional balance, and cognitive clarity. Cultivating inner awareness and skepticism. As one embarks on this journey, it is equally vital to maintain healthy skepticism, questioning one's experiences, seeking feedback, and verifying subjective impressions with objective markers, such as improved relationships, better focus, or measurable health parameters, can prevent the pitfalls of wishful thinking. Balance is key. An open mind fosters exploration and growth, while critical thinking safeguards against self-deception and the uncritical acceptance of every new claim. Conclusion. The proposition that everything is energy encapsulates a broad spectrum of insights from ancient spiritual traditions to the frontiers of modern physics, neurobiology, and psychology. It reflects a worldview in which the boundaries between matter, mind, and consciousness become permeable, suggesting that our beliefs, intentions, and perceptions may exert real, tangible effects on our physical and psychological realities. On the one hand, the scientific revolution and subsequent developments in relativity and quantum mechanics have demonstrated that energy is the bedrock of the universe. Einstein's equation, E = mc2, and the peculiarities of quantum phenomena affirm that matter and energy are deeply interwoven. On the other hand, emerging research in neuroplasticity, epigenetics, placebo effects, and parapsychology hints that the human mind might be more than just a passive observer, perhaps playing an active role in shaping outcomes within certain contexts. Philosophical and spiritual traditions have long asserted that the mind or consciousness holds a central place in the cosmic order. Concepts like prana, ki, and the Tao describe a universal energetic fabric, while meditative and movement-based practices aim to harmonize individuals with that deeper reality. Although the specifics of such claims vary across cultures, they converge on a striking commonality. Human well-being and spiritual insight arise from a conscious alignment of mind, body, and the subtle energies that animate existence. In practical terms, controlling or managing one's energy involves an ongoing interplay of introspection, discipline, and conscious effort. Whether through meditation, breathwork, visualization, or affirmations, individuals can reshape internal states that in turn influence how they experience and engage with the outer world. Neurological evidence supports these transformations, demonstrating that belief, intention, and sustained practice can rewire the brain and shape our physiological responses. Nevertheless, caution and discernment remain necessary. Scientific inquiry into consciousness-energy interactions often encounters replication challenges and debates over methodology and interpretation. While anecdotal evidence and personal revelations can be powerful motivators, they must be balanced with careful study and an acknowledgement of the complexities involved. Ultimately, the journey into the understanding and mastery of personal energy is both an external and an internal exploration. Externally, it entails engaging with scientific theories, reviewing empirical studies, and acknowledging the debates and controversies that shape our evolving understanding. Internally, it calls for self-awareness, commitment to daily practice, and the willingness to question and possibly transcend limiting beliefs. From the vantage point of an integrative perspective, recognizing that everything is energy is less about blindly adopting a new dogma and more about cultivating a relationship with a deeper reality, one that honors both the measured precision of science and the profound insights of ancient wisdom. Through consistent and reflective practice, individuals can refine their capacity to navigate the energetic currents within themselves and in the world around them, discovering greater harmony, resilience, and creative potential in the process. Extended reflection, unifying the threads. To encapsulate the discussion in a more reflective manner, it might be helpful to consider how each dimension, historical, scientific, and experiential, contributes to a cohesive framework. Historical dimension. Ancient traditions laid the groundwork, conceptualizing energy as prana, ki, or life force, and offering practices to cultivate and align this energy. Though couched in cultural and religious language, these teachings possess remarkable internal consistency and empirical depth, having been honed over centuries. Scientific dimension. Relativity established that energy underpins matter. Quantum mechanics revealed the astonishing role of measurement in determining the state of quantum objects. Meanwhile, neuroscience and epigenetics lend credence to the power of mind over body. Even if not all mainstream scientists agree on the specifics, there is enough convergent evidence to suggest that the mind-body interface is deeply implicated in shaping our experience of reality. Experiential dimension. On an individual level, people who practice meditation, breathwork, or other methods of energy management frequently attest to transformative benefits: heightened calm, sharper focus, deeper compassion, and improved health. These experiences, while subjective, are increasingly supported by objective research into stress reduction, immune system markers, and neural changes. This synergy between subjective report and objective data suggests that techniques grounded in the everything is energy framework hold real potential for personal development, synthesis, and application. The final step is translating these insights into daily practice. This includes mindfulness training to enhance self-awareness, movement practices to integrate body and mind, and cognitive strategies to dismantle self-limiting beliefs. By systematically applying these methods, individuals gain first-hand evidence of how managing one's energy can lead to tangible changes in lifestyle, relationships, and self-perception. The overarching principle binding these threads is interconnectedness. Whether we interpret interconnectedness in strictly material terms, via field theories in physics, or in more holistic, even mystical terms, via spiritual teachings, the emphasis on unity remains. It is a unity of matter and energy, of observer and observed, of belief and biology. Recognizing this unity can be a catalyst for a more integrated approach to personal growth, scientific exploration, and societal harmony. In a world increasingly shaped by technological advancement and scientific rigor, the assertion that everything is energy invites us to reflect on our deepest assumptions. Far from being an outdated spiritual cliché, it emerges as a nuanced statement supported by discoveries in quantum physics, neurobiology, and psychology alike. When complemented by empirical investigation and personal experimentation, this perspective can serve as a powerful framework for healing, self-realization, and communal evolution. Perhaps the most compelling takeaway is this: if our beliefs and perceptions indeed interface with a broader energetic substrate, then every thought, emotion, and intention carries significance. We become active participants in the unfolding of our reality, whether that participation is subtle or overt. By refining our awareness and taking responsibility for our internal states, we not only improve our personal circumstances, but also contribute to a collective energetic shift, one that might guide us toward greater empathy, innovation, and global harmony. Thank you very much for watching this far, for allowing me to share this knowledge with you. May your higher self be connected with you now and forever. I'll see you in the next video.